Hey everybody, welcome back to No Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to watch more Jobless Reincarnation. And of course, only temporary background issues on Theta's side. So, we're watching Jobless Reincarnation today, and we got some comments. Let's see what people got to say. We got, Kevin Cawthon. Wait a second, is that the guy who does Home Alone?
This is Kelvin Cawthon.
Oh, okay, completely different person. I got it.
When you're talking about
He's
Kevin McAllister, which is a character
Kevin
name,
McAllister. Who's Cawthon then? I don't know. Well, I'm clearly getting my actors confused, but we're
this is
talking
somebody
about.
who's commented before too, so I don't even know why he was saying this now and not anything they previously have ever said.
I know some reason I'm having an epiphany right now, but he's responding to the episode Childs and Warriors, where
Children and
pre-episode
warriors, you mean?
Children and Warriors, where pre-episode talk, Theta says, emergency family meeting is more of a turning point than turning point one. The entire Mushoku Tensei fan base, collective gasp. And then the first scene of this episode, with Paul's letter, Theta realizes how large the mana cataclysm might have been. Seriously though, I really hope no commenters go further into detail about Turning Point 1 to try to educate you on it. There's a lot of potential spoilers there. Future episodes will go into it more. At this point in the story, what you currently think of Turning Point 1 is correct with the info you've been given. I get Theta's point though. Before Paul's letters revelation, episode 4 had more of an impact on Rudy's life than Turning Point 1, if you think it was just Rudy and Eris who got transported. Theta, near the end of the episode, about Rajerd, have you ever thought about shaving your head? Wow, nice call, Lamau.
Yeah, I'm real poignant about things the moment before they happen, when they're the
You,
most obvious.
before he gets the eye that sees 2 seconds into the future, you have the brain that sees 2 seconds into the future of the anime.
I don't even think it's about being able to see 2 seconds in the future. I think it's more about being able to talk about something two
Mhm.
seconds in the future, because it's really easy to see 2 seconds in the future. And in how long do you pause thinking about what you need to say? Like when, like
Mhm.
an accident's about to happen, right? You want to warn the person that's about to happen. It's
Mhm.
you either shout "Rah!" because you don't know what to do, or you take a moment and think, and then in a moment of thinking, they get hit by a car.
Yeah, like human reaction time is something along the lines of like 200 milliseconds. Like it varies obviously depending on like how big you are because, there's more distance for your nerves to actually travel as signals. Um so you've already spent like what, 1/10 of your time just doing the reaction to whatever stimuli you're seeing. Then you have the amount of processing that you're doing, and then actual executive decision making too, which definitely takes more than a second. So yeah, no, you are better than that.
Sometimes.
Uh, but all this talk about Turning Point 1 constantly has me thinking, so why is it important? I need to find out. They're gonna tell us eventually. But until then, we just have to kind of just keep following the characters. And it's just a mystery. It's just a weird thing that happened that procked off an entire adventure, and we just never come back to it again. That's all we have right now.
Except for the fact that we saw Grandpa's head get cut off, which means obviously we're still concerned about what's going on over there.
Oh, of course, of course. Next commenter here is Dark Sonic Spear from Children and Warriors as well. For context, Buena Village, Rudy's home and a couple of hours away from Roa, Eris's home. If a Rudy was at ground zero, that would make the blast 1 or 2 counties wide, enough to be a national incident, but not that big.
I think I responded to this one in the comment section that we saw that Rudy rode a carriage from his house
Hmm.
to Roa,
Yeah,
and the average speed of a carriage is about 4 to 5 miles per hour.
yeah, yeah,
So if it's a couple of hours away, that's 2 hours. So it's 8 to 10 miles away. I don't know if
yeah.
8 to 10 miles is a county. I don't know how large a county typically is. That tends to be up to the people who decide,
It sounds
county widths and lengths and whatnot.
it sounds about right in terms of like human placement of settlements. Like when it comes down to like when do you place the next settlement? The answer is about a day's walk away. So like 10 miles, yeah, that checks out,
That's
right?
about a fourth of the inner wall of a hurricane, right? It's not nowhere
Hmm.
near the size of a hurricane, but it's
Yeah.
a fourth of the smallest part of a hurricane.
Still definitely like natural disaster scale at this point, though. Especially given all the damages we've seen and all the people who are missing. Plenty of stuff.
Well, a natural disaster implies that it was natural.
Well, I'm just comparative scale. You know what I mean.
Again, I'm using comparative scale as well, so I said it's a fourth the size of the eye of a hurricane, which means it's not hurricane size, so it'd be 300 to 400 miles across.
Gosh, meanwhile, I'm just thinking it's like events like that happening here. If like the county I'm in disappeared and it blasted all the other counties around it, um that would probably be 1 million people.
I mean, there is a famous book, or a series of books, in fact, I can't remember the name of,
Yeah.
which I think, in fact, I don't know, I was going to say it happens in Texas, but it might not. It might have to be like Kentucky or something, where
Uh-huh.
like an entire town and the nuclear power plant get ripped out of the earth and sent back in time to like 1100, 1200, 80.
Right, the time period where it'd be completely useless.
Well, no, I think the nuclear reactor still powers the place. The idea is that it's a bunch of modern day people dropped into the middle of the Hundred Years' War, and how
Mhm.
they disrupt basically the European power structure. Because they still have
Yeah.
all their trucks, they've got their guns, they've got everything a normal American town in like 1990 would have.
Plus a nuclear reactor, apparently.
Yeah.
Gosh, having like a bunch of nuclear engineers on board is really the best possible luck you could have with we're bringing all of our future tech to the past, right?
Well, I mean, you imagine just a bunch of guys on the back of a truck with some shotguns or rifles versus cavalry in the Hundred Years' War.
Parry this, you filthy casual moment right there. Just pull out your gun. That's how you parry them.
America.
Ah, America. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about what happened last time, which was slow life in Dolda Village. When the raiding season's starting, Rudeus and his party are forced to stay in Dolda Village for at least 3 months. During this time, Eris befriends some beast children, including Tona, daughter of Guys, who is the village's best warrior. However, when Gilsane's name is mentioned, uh, this elicits a negative reaction from Guys, who reveals that Ghislaine is his younger sister who left the village long ago and is considered a traitor for refusing to become a village guardian. This sparks Tona's interest in learning sword fighting, and Eris gladly becomes her instructor. 3 months later, Rudeus and his party are prepared to leave after the rain stops. Tona doesn't want Eris to leave and has a falling out with her over it. Guys manages to convince her to apologize by revealing that Ghislaine was very rebellious when she was young, and the village allowed her to be taken away by adventurers to be rid of her. He has come to regret letting Ghislaine leave without trying to understand her. Rudeus and his party then leave for the holy county of Millis with Geese, while Geese hitches a ride with them. So, big emotional Eris episode last time, right?
Well, yeah, because we're never going to see these people again, as far as I know. So
Mhm.
there's a
uh,
goodbye episode.
I'm actually not too sure about that. I feel like half the point of like having this adventure for the character for the narrative is for the character to bring them up again. To like say, I need a bunch of allies if only I knew a bunch of people around the world to help me. And here they are.
I mean, that doesn't make sense if you give it like Columbus era sail, right? I need a bunch of
Mhm.
allies from across the world. Well, you know the time that would take. It'd be easier if you just found allies here.
Already took them 2 years, so yeah.
I mean, it only makes sense if we do like a time skip and they get older, and then these girls from the village wander over to Roa or something.
Mhm. Right. I think there's narrative potential though. I feel like it is planting the seeds for the future, right? Ah. Or I guess like Chekhov's gun is like the actual metaphor. It's up there, it's on the mantle. We got the beast men, they're in the
I don't
trees.
think Chekhov's gun applies to people.
I mean, you could definitely apply it for like something that is set down and made obvious earlier and then is brought up at the end. Like, we don't expect it to be brought up anytime between A and B, but we expect it to be there at B. That's what I'm thinking. Do you have any thoughts about, like, last episode or what's going on? What do you think?
I mean, I brought up what's his name before because he escapes the village, and then he's a ride with them. That I think
Yeah.
he's up to more no good than you believe he is.
Right, he definitely has, like, the potential to, like, reveal some, like, darker past and, like, do something terrible. But he also has just been, like, a total goofball who doesn't have any other skills.
Yeah, well, if you have a horrible past and you've done something horrible, what better mask to bring up than the more affable person?
Yep. So let's see. I think other than that, though, the episode title for today had us thinking that we're going to be dealing with Roxy's perspective now. Because they're the one that is closest to getting home.
I mean, it's literally what I said last episode, yes.
Exactly. So I'm kind of excited for that. Also, maybe Rudy's just gets home this episode. And maybe that's the squabble they go over.
Seems
Uh,
doubtful.
Seems doubtful, but stuff is happening at home. So I guess let's go ahead and see which family we're going to be following today. But before we go ahead and get watching, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, uncensored, uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can go ahead and catch us over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all to support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Click the link down below, join the Discord, join any polls we may be having to replace shows as they happen.
I want this music to be diegetic. I want Rudy's to just be banging on those drums.
Seems unlikely because we always get like intro music like this.
It is a funny image.
We're out of the desert, out of the wastelands, so
Yeah, they already crossed the ocean. They get actual terrain.
well, we don't know that they crossed the ocean. They took a boat ride. They could have gone to the same continent, Grove.
They crossed the lake.
Well, you remember when we played 5e? We took a boat ride literally across a giant inner ocean, but we still had a long ways to go down. We wanted to go to the same different continent.
こんなところでか？一緒に町まで行けば。寂しがんなよ先輩。また会えるって。ギース、今度
He's got trouble to get into.
教えなさいよ。しつけえな。なんでそんなに覚えたいんだよ。それは。なんだいエリス。何が言いたいんだい。
5 years. Remember 5 years.
はっきり言ってごらんよ。グフフフ。じゃ、旦那も達者でな。お前もな。あまり悪さはするなよ。
Yeah, Griff, real ride or die.
Hey, he rode all the way here.
He's not dead, is he?
Well, all right. Now I have to ask. So, what is up with him?
Yeah,
I guess maybe he is an adventurer.
I was confused for a second because I thought we were about to get an actual opening, which is weird for this. But no, I think we're just them entering the city.
They definitely went for the Minas Tirith vibe here, though. Like 10,000%.
Well, I mean, Minas Tirith is itself based on a real location.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that French little castle thing. It sits in the middle of like a lake that fills up. Like every so often during the day. Sort of, God, it starts with a K. The Russian architecture, I can't think of the name of.
I don't know what the...
Kislevite? No, that's not right. It's not Kosovo. It's the initial name for the Russian people that lived in the cities in that region.
Right. I'm thinking Kislevite, but that's Warhammer.
Yeah.
God, right.
Well, this is more Venetian mixed with. God.
It's a combo of a lot of things. It's actually very cool and creative.
それではチームデッドエンドの作戦会議を始めます。はい、拍手。
Why aren't you clapping?
Because I'm not in the show, Griff. Neither are you.
Well, we're part of the meeting now.
Year and a half. Okay, so they did cross. Alright.
このままアスラまで一直線と言いたいところですが、とりあえずしばらくはこの町で金を稼ぎたいと思います。なんでよ。ミリスは仕事の依頼料も高いようです。ここで一気に稼いだ方が効率がいいでしょう。次また船に乗るときにいくらかかるかわかりませんしね。
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're on like a midway
それにいい
continent.
作戦を思いついたので、スペルト族の名誉回復も並行して進めたいと考えています。人助けをした後、ルイジェルドさんの正体をばらすんです。そしてこれをお守りだと言って
Surely this will have no
これを
consequences.
持っていれば、あのスペルト族もあっという間に態度が軟化。数分後には100年来のソウルブラザーになれるでしょう。ってな感じです。
I just also want to point out again that the Spurred earned their reputation as monstrous killers, and just because you meet one good Spurred doesn't mean that the rest of them are good.
はい、僕たちの無事を知らせる手紙です。
慌ただしいことばかりで忘れていたが、パウロたちも心配してるだろうし、連絡した方がいいだろう。こんな状況だ。ダメとは言うまい。
二人はどうしますか？
じゃあ私はゴブリン退治をしてくるわ。この辺りに出るって聞いた。
No, no, not goblin slaying. That's a different show.
No, it seems about the same show to me.
No, no, yeah.
ルーデウス、大丈夫だ。やらせてみろ。
ですが、そうですか。ルイジェルドさんが言うなら。
ゴブリンぐらい一人で大丈夫よ。
フラグにしか聞こえないんだよな。
まあそういうことなら明日はおのおの自由行動ということにしましょう。
わかったわ。
エリスの護衛は頼んだぞ、ルイジェルド。
You having a stroke, buddy? What's going on?
They're just like, yeah. You need help?
思えば、パウロに手紙を書くなんて初めてだ。なんて書こう
Well, I
か。
mean, we know he's not going to get it, though.
仲間になった
So,
から、魔界大
Oh,
帝に
yep.
魔眼を
because he's
もらっ
not
たの
there.
か書いたところで信じてくれるかな。
どけ。
やだやだ、また人さらい。
この世界は
To be fair, he could be a bounty hunter.
正直あまり関わり合いになりたくないところだ。
What is a bounty hunter but a professional kidnapper under law?
Well, if he's under law, then it's not kidnapping.
デッドエンドの起きて
I would say the action is still
子供は見捨て
kidnapping.
るな。
That was neither a
He's
kid,
kidnapped you to jail.
that wasn't a kid, nor did they look asleep.
の味方。そうやって少しずつスペルド族の汚名を晴らすのだ。
誰にもつけられてないだろうな。
Actually, this is slightly more getting involved in business you know nothing about vibes, you know?
To be fair, it did happen right outside his window.
おい、団長を呼んできて。
Thus, we enable the nosy neighbor clause.
他にも仲間がいたのか。
さて、どうやってあの子を助けようか。相手の強さがわからない以上。
They look like they're really trying to help him.
は危険だな。しばらくここに身を潜めて待つか。頼むから暴力とかやめてくれよ。しかし、一体ここは何だ?
Yeah, it seems like he's got like a curse on him or something. In which case, that's like the only way he could ride a horse, I guess.
服にしては少々小さい。しかし、触っていると不思議と安らかな気分になる。この感触。
You're enjoying that pile of clothing too much, man.
そうそう。ここに2つ穴
Oh,
が開いて
that's
いて。
why.
パンツじゃねえか。
誰だ。
Well, there goes sneaking around.
木箱の中が出てこい。
そう、こんな罠を用意しているとは卑劣な。
侵入者だ。おいおいおい。
しょうがねえ。幼き者を守護者から引き離し、己の醜い欲望の糧とする者よ。その行いを恥と知れ。
Ah, this is
それ
regretful.
を誘拐という。
Reputation immediately ruined.
なめた格好しやがって。誰だ。
俺はデッドエンドのルイジェルドだ。
Just because they look clean doesn't mean that they are.
デッドエンドだ。ごめんなさいルイジェルドさん。でもちゃんと子供は助けますから。おいガキ、正義の味方ごっこならよそでやれよ。俺たちは
大丈夫か少年。
あれ、この子どこかで。
何があった。
It's
What?
actually just the local BDSM dungeon.
だが手だれだぞ。
それは私の。
ごめんルイジェルド、本当にごめん。
Well, come on,
And now
man.
you're ruining his reputation.
Oh, what the hell?
He's just a little freak, you know?
You'd think he'd grow out of it by now.
騙せねえぜ。右に左に。あ、すごい。
God damn it.
危ない。ゴキブリみたいに逃げて。変態め。
団長はまだか。おお、待たせたな。
なんだ、ただの酔っ払いじゃないか。
てめえ好き勝手やってくれやがって。
Please don't be Paul.
できてんだろうな。
あ、この男もどこかで見たことがあるような
Is that
懐かしい感じが
is
する。
that Brain from Overlord?
Season 2 brain.
Yeah.
あいつみたいな動きしやがる。
犬かよこいつは。
I still can't place where the other guy's supposed to be familiar from either. The kid.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
他のチンピラとは格が違う。
しまった。
ルディ。
Aha.
俺をその名前で呼ぶ男は一人しかいない。そう、それは
So I was
正
right.
真正銘この世界での俺の。
父様。
Kind of lost my shit after the whole family went away, huh? I'm back in the show, Griff. I'm back in the show.
Hell yeah, you're part of the adventuring gang.
It's good to know I can also almost kick your ass too, still.
Good to know everyone else is judging Rudy as well.
Good to know I still keep the same company.
ルディ。
父様、お久しぶりです。
なんだ。ルディ。よく生きていてくれたな。
ええ。もう、その父様はどうしてここに？
どうしてって。
What do you
伝言を見ただろ
mean?
伝言ですか？
はて、何の話だろうか。そんなものを見かけた記憶はないが。
なあルディ、お前今までどうしてきた？
どうと言われても大変でしたよ。
ロアでの災害に巻き込まれて1年半。
Let's give you the recap.
たくさんあった。
Oh yeah, it's time.
第1部、心の友ルイジェルドとの出会い。そ
I hope he's actually telling him this. Okay, good.
Yes.
第2部、配下のエリス、ルイジェルドと共に大魔術師ルーデウスが世直しをしながら魔大陸縦断の旅。第3部、卑劣な従属の罠にかかり
Everyone's listening
囚
in.
われの身となって絶体絶命な俺。そんな感じの完全ノンフィクション一大スペクタクルだ。人神のことはぼかしておこう。
Yeah, no one's gonna
あいつは
believe
な
that
んかう
part.
さんくさいしな。しかし思い返せばなかなか楽しい旅だった。
そしてウェンポー
I'm not
島
gonna
と
do a
たどり
thing
着
where
いた
you've
僕
been
が
having
目にし
fun
た
and
の
your
は
mother's gone.
お前がこの1年ちょっとの間遊び歩いてたってことはよくわかった。
Goofing off.
僕も大変だったんですが。
お前の口調からは大変さなんてみじんも感じられねえ。
それはそういう風に話したからで、確かにちょっと調子には乗っていたかもしれないですけど。
なあ、お前どうしてマ大陸で他に災害に巻き込まれた奴らの情報を集めなかった？
どうしてと言われても答えようがない。
To be fair, he didn't even know there was a disaster beyond him and Eris in Ghislaine.
Yeah, that's fair.
ありませんでした。その余裕
And
が
I don't even know
見ず知らずの魔族
he's ever learned
を助ける
until
余裕
now.
はあっても他に転移されたであろう人たちを気にかける余裕はないってか。
優先順位を間違ったと言われれば確かにそうかもしれない。
But this is actually demonstrably not Rudeus's fault.
仕方ないだろう。
人も探さず手紙の一つもよこさず可愛いお嬢様と二人で遠足気分で冒険者暮らし、しかも強力な護衛までついているときた。それでなんだ、ミリシオンに来て最初にやったことがパンツかぶって正義の味方ごっこか。
僕だって右も左もわからない状況で。
But where's the kid familiar
だけ
from
は
though?
守らなきゃって思って多少抜けてることがあったって悪くないでしょ。
別に悪かねえよ。
じゃあなんで突っかかってくるんですか。
エリスってのはフィリップの娘だったか？
ああ、もちろんそうですよ。
さぞ可愛いお嬢さんなんだろうな。手紙を出さなかったのはお嬢様の護衛が増えるとイチャイチャすんのを邪魔されるとでも思ったから。
Oh, come on, Paul.
だからそれは
I mean, be fair, he is Rudeus.
それぐらいにして
I mean, even so, Paul's not coming at it that way.
親子のことに口を挟むんじゃねえ。
ですが女のことで父様にとやかく言われたくないですよ。
ああ、
その女の人は何なんですか。近くにそんな綺麗な女の人がいるって母様やリーリャは知ってるんですか。
Oh, that actually is gonna
知っ
hurt.
てるわけねえだろ。
じゃあ浮気し放題ってわけだ。随分とエロい格好させちゃってまあ。これ
Oh, he's
新しい
due for a
弟
beating
が
now.
妹ができる日も近い。
There it is.
ふざけたこと言ってんじゃねえぞ。
Ah, it's not a good look though.
ここに来たってことはザンとポートにも足を運んだんだろうが。
それがどうしたってんだよ。
なら知ってるだろうが。
知らねえっつってんだろ。
You're not gonna beat me in a sword fight or a fist fight. You cheat with magic, like you.
てめえ、
一生懸命やってきたんだ。知らない場所に飛ばされて誰も知ってる人がいなくて、それでもなんとかここまで来たんだ。なんで責められなきゃいけないんだ。
てめえならもっとうまくできただろうが。
できね
くそ、なんだよその目は。そんな顔するやつじゃなかったはずだろ。
Because he was happy to see you, you jackass.
Oh, that's a terrible first sight of your brother.
I think grew up so fucking fast.
えよ。覚えてるかお兄ちゃん。
いじめ？俺がいじめ？いや、だって。
Oh, what a squabble this is turning into.
だよそれ。
God, how old is she?
帰ろう。
God, how old was Rudeus at Roe again?
She's
俺は
like
何もしなかった。
3 or 4.
宿に戻ってエリスとルイジェルドを待とう。そして
Sure she's not like 6? 6 and a half?
I don't know.
Was Rudeus at Roa for 5 years?
ブエナ村の奴らも全員災害に巻き込まれた。
今なんつった。
ザンとポートの冒険者ギルドにも伝言は残した。お前冒険者になったんだろう。なんで見てねえんだよ。 お前がのんきに旅してる間に何人も死んだんだぞ。
I know what he's saying is horrible, but at the same time,
転移災害
it's just so cute. They're
どうして
guarding.
思い至らなかった。
Yeah.
俺はどうしてブエナ村が無事だって思ったんだ。そうか、みんな行方不明。
ってことはシルフィも。
お前
Yeah, but say you didn't ask about your fucking
母
mom.
親より女の心配か。
母様も見つかってないんですか？
And now the heaviness of everything he said is gonna hit him.
リリアとアイシャもな。
This is just good. This is just drama. This is good
転移した奴ら
drama.
を探すためにこうやって捜索団を組織している。
捜索団がなんで人さらいを？
奴隷になった奴もいるんだよ。
奴隷？
突然転移してそこがどこだかわからない状態で騙されて奴隷にされて、そんなのが何人もいたんだ。
そうだ、さっきのやつ。
This is a fucking turning point. This is what turning point is. He was the bully? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
特に事
The
情
old
を察して
bully.
動いてくれてると思ったよ。それがのんきに冒険とはな。
That's right. Your new life is ruined like your old life. How could you do it?
Well, it's like the time that the other kids died, right? It's because he wasn't considering things fully.
Mm-hmm.
It is the problem of I wasn't thinking about the things I didn't know to think about.
よし、明日もう一度話そう。何？前にもこういうことあったじゃないか。話せばわかるさ。だからパウロを落ち着かせて今後の計画を練る。
Trying to rationalize the whole thing.
まずはパウロに会って。
Well, he's trying to figure out how to talk to his dad again, but I mean... Even when Paul was an asshole back then... That was normal, rational Paul. This is clearly Paul at wit's end.
Yeah, the Paul we're getting today is Paul at his absolute lowest.
誰よ、誰にやられたの？
なんでもないよ。
そんなはずない。
何かあったのか。
この町に父様がいました。
何か嫌なことでも言われたか。
He said something I didn't understand.
He told me exactly how terrible I am.
話しなさいよ。
親子喧嘩に口を出すな。
あんなに頑張ってたルーデウスがこんなに弱ってるのよ。父親失格よ。
弱っているならお前が慰めてやればいい。
Now the Eris lesson for the episode.
I don't know how to interact with people.
She's got nothing. She tried. Worth the effort.
You know what the hardest thing is going to be?
大丈夫よ。
When we get Sylphie back.
ついてるから。
When Rudeus has to explain Sylphie Dare.
私、あんまりこういうの得意
Yeah, because Eris and Rudy are a good couple.
いえ、
It's going to be real hard figuring out Sylphie now.
ありがとう。エリス。
Will Rudeus actually learn to have multiple...
What the fuck? How long has this episode been?
I guess the fight lasted way longer than I thought.
That was so quick.
It had us going the entire time. That's what it did.
Wait,
That's good.
is this new?
No, we've seen this before. I
No,
think.
no, I don't think the vision through the bubble lenses have been the same. I certainly don't remember seeing Paul and Ghislaine and the maid, her name starts with an A, and the other daughter.
Yeah.
In that before. I think the ending's been changing.
It's possible, but I wouldn't notice because I'm terrible at picking out details.
I mean,
But we
I've been
have had the
having...
Windovers.
86 has been training me to spot it. That's why I do that with the openings now.
Eagle-eyed Theta. That's what they call them.
Not really. But I would have to think I would have spotted Paul in the ending before.
But yeah, this is the most dramatic way this reunion could have possibly gone.
I mean, I would clearly say this is a turning point. This is definitely a turning point, but the show doesn't think turning points are the same thing I do.
I guess the real question is, could it have gone even worse?
Yeah, he could have killed Paul. I mean, we know he has super magic powers, so he could have, before Paul even understood it, he was fighting his son or a magic user, he could have done something super powered that blew out the side of the building.
In the middle of the bar fight, where he just like does the little wind uppercut move, and he hits the ceiling, he like cracks his neck, goes down to the floor, and everyone just stares and goes, "What the hell?"
Oh, I was talking about before the bar fight. When it was the
There's
actual
plenty of
fight.
points where he could have probably get killed, but yeah, no, this is Paul at his absolute lowest. Everyone is now feeling positively terrible. There's still a problem that hasn't been solved, and Rudy is has been able to take care of himself and like one other person.
Well, we don't
I
know.
don't think Rudyard counts for that.
We don't actually know if Paul is at his lowest. It seems that way, but I mean, he could just be stressed out from everything else. But the fact is, he formed a giant group around him, all to find the people, and he's been finding people. So
Yeah.
he's been successful. I don't think you're at your wit's end if you're actually finding success. Plus, he has his daughter with him.
I guess seeing Rudeus and like learning what happened to him is like the straw that breaks it, where he's for a year and a half been constantly stressing, gets his son back and just hears, "Oh yeah, everything's been fine. I've been having a great time journeying around." And he's just like, "What the hell? I was worried about you."
Well, it's not even that, because he still looks as disheveled when he walks out of the room and gets into the fight with him first. So he looks that way even before Rudeus tells the story.
Still, I think just the fact that we were surprised that it ended was just how tuned in we were into this. This was great.
Yeah, I guess there was a lot more in the beginning.
Better than the first half.
I guess there was a lot more in the beginning before he goes off to rescue the kid than I realized.
You didn't even clap, man.
I'm not in the show.
You gotta clap for Team Dead End here.
But I'm not. I'm in part of another party.
That's right.
You're Rudy, remember?
Paul's party. Yeah, I'm in here. Jesus.
Yeah, nobody in Paul's party was clapping. We're all fucking serious. You've been goofing off for a year and a half, man. Get your shit together. Why do you always gotta rely on me and other adults to remind you about what's important? I left messages for you, man. You are an adventurer. You go to the adventuring guild. Why did you fucking read the postings? God.
Look, I have 8,000 emails in my inbox right now, and I don't think I've opened 10% of them.
Yeah, well, you don't have email in this world. God, it's so good to have a point that I can roast you on again.
Absolutely.
My character's back in the show.
Not my flaws. No, anything but that.
And despite all of the shit that you seem to have grown on, you're still fucking up.
This has definitely been a great journey. Absolutely unexpected. We were entirely expecting Roxy. We got Rudeus.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Family Squabble back in the Demon Desert when she sailed off to go there or whatever.
But gosh, this opens up like so many new possibilities too for like what happens next. Or I guess Rudeus's journey back home is now no longer going to be that. It's now going to be hang out with Paul and find everyone.
Well, there's a couple of implications here. One is the fact that we didn't go to Roxy and Company. Yeah. Means that their crossing paths here, or a couple episodes ago, was just a thing. And it might imply more than the fact that they're just around. It might imply the fact that we're just not going to meet characters again for a long time. Like the fact that we saw Grandpa's head get cut off might imply that that was just us seeing what's going on over there, and we're not going back. That we can just be shown what's going on elsewhere in the world, or be hinted at things that we might want to see happen, and they just don't fucking happen.
Speaking of characters we have not seen for a while, so we have Sylphie, right? She has had time away from Rudeus. developed something on her own person, and then got teleported anywhere in the world, and according to Paul, may very well have been enslaved and is having the absolute worst time. There is so much random shit that could be happening to her right
Well,
now.
apparently most people got enslaved.
She's also like a magic user. She didn't seem incompetent or anything. In fact, she seemed really good at it.
Yeah, she doesn't have to. I'm sorry, she didn't have to do the chance or anything. She's like
Oh yeah,
Rudeus.
yeah.
I think Rudeus even tested her, and she was like at Rudeus's level or higher. So
So there's no reason why she couldn't be doing very well too. There's like a infinite number of possibilities there for her story right now.
well, it's the fact that people got teleported all over the world. Because we now know that not everybody went to the other continent. That this kid got found. Well, we don't know. It's been a while. It's a year and a half at least. That this kid, wherever he got teleported, found his way to this other place that they had to ride a boat to get to.
Yeah. Also, funny thing, this is Rudeus's first introduction to one of his siblings, where he is beating up his dad.
Well, not his first introduction. He saw them as babies.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't count. Nobody remembers baby times unless you're Rudeus.
Well, no, I'm saying you said his first introduction. You mean it was her first introduction to him.
Right. So, I don't think that impression can be any worse.
I mean, it could have been worse. You already did the next
All to
snap
be
thing.
dead. So we're gonna have some fun seeing how he recovers that and what relationship they actually end up in. That'll be interesting to see. Like, will there actually be any positive notes? Is he gonna have fun having younger siblings?
Well, I mean, we covered the whole him being depressed in his room with Eris trying to cheer him up when Richard wasn't in that room.
Yep.
So
Ruger just walks over, has a perfectly ordinary adult-to-adult talk with Paul,
I don't think Richard can have
and
an
smooths
ordinary.
everything over.
I think Richard can have an adult conversation with anybody. He's always very distant and reserved and shit. And I don't know. He seemed to understand family concerns at the least, so I don't think he's just going to go over there and kick ass or anything.
He did literally mention stay out of family squabbles, so he probably is not actually doing that, yeah.
But I'm just saying he wasn't there. So. But this
I think
also, again, isn't the kind of show that doesn't seem to automatically try and tie things together. Again, Roxy showed up in the background of an episode and then went on her way somewhere else.
Yeah. Also in notes in terms of character changes for Rudeus. So, like, obviously when we started the entire series, he was a person who feared to go outside and interact with anyone. But now he is at the point where he is literally jumping at the chance to fight.
Well, it's also his outgoing nature, which has caused him to fuck up.
Yeah.
Not only the fact that multiple kids have died under his eye, but the fact that he didn't decide to look at adventuring postings, despite having 3 episodes all about him getting adventuring jobs.
Yeah, how come he didn't just read the entire board?
Because he didn't think of it. What he said. I just didn't think about it. Why didn't I do that? I didn't think about it.
What a dummy. Alright, so I think I got everything out on my end. What about you? You got any final thoughts?
Nope.
Alright then, in that case, let's go ahead and wrap up for the day. This has been Stoneface Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin, that's Theta. We'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?